Welcome, beautiful souls, and thank you for pressing play. Thank you for your energy present here and for your willingness to be lovingly carried into your next chapter. This is Venetian Energy Rising with Gemini. I'm Polly Marie, and on my channel, I share grounded, embodied teachings drawn from lived experience. This channel is about remembering who you are beneath the noise, so that you can flow through life with clarity, meaning, and alignment. Let's call these energetic tune-ups. So each week we explore a fresh cosmic download from my spirit team by weaving archetypes, animal wisdom, planetary alignments, and Sabian symbols. We will explore this week's current as a shift in focus or a shift in consciousness as Venus enters Gemini. It's guiding us from stability into curiosity. So on April 24th, 2026, Venus enters Gemini at the 0 degree, shifting the focus from that Taurian stability to an intellectual curiosity. It's lighthearted, it's socializing, it's like a versatile affection. This transit emphasizes communication in our relationships, and it's encouraging mental stimulation and witty conversation and prioritizing that over some more intense emotional depth that we've previously been transmuting, if you will. So the 0 point, the Aries point of a sign, has a fresh ingress to it. This fresh ingress energy. So when Venus hits this degree in Gemini, it signals that shift from the focus of Taurus into that social world of Gemini. And it's an entrance to a portal of complete mental and social reset. So there's a transition. So just before this ingress, Venus meets Uranus at about 29 degrees of Taurus. And that's what sparks this sudden change in relationships. So with Gemini arrival here, the heart becomes curious. It's like trading luxury goods for luxury gossip and intellectual stimulation. Just having a little fun here with this. So let's dive deeper into this meaning through the lens of the Sabian symbols for these transitions, because we're going from the final degree of Taurus to the beginning of degree of Gemini. So what is this saying? What is the current flowing through this energy? Because it's setting the stage for this week's cosmic current, which is you are lovingly carried into your next chapter. So the download I received this week with this current is you are at a threshold between what you've cultivated and what is now ready to emerge. The seed is already within you. The knowing is already alive. Let curiosity lead. Let the unknown unfold. You don't need the full path, only the courage to enter. And what is meant for you will reveal itself, and you are lovingly carried across the threshold of the mind into the heart of the I am. So let's view this deeper from that Sabian symbol first, of the energy of the last degree of Taurus. And that Sabian symbol is peacock parading on an ancient lawn. I just love that visual. So this is best expressing through the planet as embellishment. This is about embellishing our life expression, our personal displays of excellence, right? Just like that peacock displays its beautiful tail feathers. So this has been about individuality, seeking both maturity of understanding and a full substantiation of worth. And here, our worth is wisdom and wealth. It's not just like wealth in terms of our financial gain. It's wealth in all of its forms of abundance with wisdom. So gifts inherited and improved upon are shown to be part of the flowering of cultural aspirations and its pride and joy. Okay? So it's like now we've taken the flowering of these aspirations, of this wisdom, of these gifts, of this abundance, and in prideful joy, we're now moving it into the energy of Gemini at the beginning point. That Sabian symbol is a glass-bottomed boat, reveals undersea wonders. This universal idea is expressed through discovering new dimensions. So this is the unconscious mind holding like the secrets of the ocean depths, right? Which can be revealed to anyone who inquires. It's revealed because we're on a glass bottom boat. This is the uncovering of a whole new dimension of life. Just like there exists vast oceans of reality of which we remain almost entirely unconscious of, yet we can sometimes glimpse this peripheral or this dimmed vision. So to the curious, this first foggy awareness triggers excitement and wonder. It's like catching something on the glass bottom boat out of the peripheral and then coming up upon it. Triggers excitement and wonder. And then even a hint that we could get closer. And we get closer and closer, we transition the ingress. And it sets the stage for this frequency of high magnetism. And it's going to feel like social allure in a way. And this is going to run until the mid-May, until like May 18th. So high magnetism, social allure. So how do we navigate this shift? Well, this energy encourages us just to lighten up. It's about going back to being curious, to asking questions, to embracing the joy of discovery even in our connections. So this is themes of like curious and playful love. Relationships feel less intense. They're more playful. There's a desire to explore, socialize, and connect with various people. There's intellectual connection with, again, that Venus and Gemini being the air sign. It's prioritizing shared ideas, learning, like witty banter. And there's themes of networking and expression. This is an excellent time for, if you are on social media platforms, for writing, for speaking engagements, and for connecting. There's a need for variety. So this energy is leading us to a desire to explore new social circles, right? It's like boredom is being avoided. And there's also just transitioning energies overall, and it occurs immediately after the Venus-Uranus conjunction. So this shift brings these fresh perspectives to our relationships. So when we view this week's energy, looking at some archetypes, we're going to first look at it from the seed to Gnosis, right? So from its birth to its full knowing. So it's from the beginning to the knowing. The choosing here, we're going to look at it also from the archetype that came up of the forest. And what does that mean? So what does it mean when we take something from beginning to knowing, but we're in this forest together, right? The forest is representing our willingness to get lost in our discovery of new perspectives and new relationships. So to work with this cosmic current, lovingly guiding us into our next chapter, we began by integrating what was cultivated at that final degree of Taurus. That's where we gathered wisdom. That's where we recognized our value. That's where we honored the gifts that we've inherited and refined. And so now we step forward into a new dimension of life. This transition unfolds through that archetype of the seed. The seed here representing the origin, the beginning, the pearl, the essence of what's to come. It arrives in many forms, and not all seeds immediately reveal their beauty. Yet when planted intentionally in nourishing soil, they have that potential to grow into something meaningful and uniquely ours. So this is the energy of origin stories, our Gemini beginning. It's like any birth story. It may be complex, surprising, it has multi-layers. It still often holds a central image, though, or an essence that reflects the truth of who we are becoming. So simply put, the end exists within the beginning. If we use the forest reference here, it's just like an oak tree lives within the acorn, right? So your next chapter is already encoded within you. So as we work with the seed, we enter a field of potent generative energy. This energy may stir restlessness or impatience. So pay attention to that and pay attention to what agitates you. It's really just pointing you to your growth edge. So that's really a beautiful position to be in. And there you're being invited to just stay curious, playful, and open. Make new connections if you can. Express yourself through writing, speaking, and conversation. Embrace that variety and exploration. These are the natural expressions of this transition. So from that grounded accumulation of Taurus, taking our stability and our new wisdom into that curious energy emergence of Gemini. And we can ask ourselves, what are we bumping up against? What is asking us to grow? Just like a pearl formed within the oyster, right? It's the friction, the sand, the grit that creates that luminous effect on the pearl. So trust what's shaping you. And in its light aspect, when we're in the light aspect of this seed energy, it's fertile, it's generative, it's expansive. If we're in the shadow with this, we may feel dormant or stuck. We may loop into unproductive thought patterns. So we just want to be the observer of those things. And then the invitation then is to nurture movement, not stagnation. So then here we get guided into that archetype of Gnosis, that inner knowing. The Gnosis is not the kind of knowledge found in books, facts, or external validation. It is the deep intuitive wisdom that arises from within. And it's the knowing you feel before you can even explain it. This is how we begin to uncover this new dimension of our life. And we can imagine then looking through a glass-bottom boat, seeing what lies beneath the surface. Gnosis offers that same kind of clarity. It's revealing hidden layers of truth. It may emerge through mysticism, healing, science, personal transformation. It doesn't matter. It's a signature. It's unmistakable because you just feel it. So it's not about defining yourself through roles or identities anymore. This is about surrendering to the mystery of becoming. Because Gnosis invites you to embrace discovery, to lighten your perspective, to follow what magnetizes you. Because when we experience it, it changes you. You become the guardian of your own inner knowing, guided really here not by certainty, but more by resonance. We want to be guided by high resonance. And when Gnosis is in its light aspect, it inspires that curiosity, contemplation, and openness to life's mysteries. If we're in our shadow here, we can become over-intellectual. We can over-intellectualize, right? We seek answers externally instead of that trusting inner truth. So to move from seed to Gnosis, again, as I mentioned, we're supported by the archetype of the forest. The forest is going to be what we experience between that transition from seed to knowing, from beginning to knowing, okay? So the forest is is that threshold. It's what we transverse through. It represents the unknown. It's like what the glass bottom boat has not yet uncovered or reached. And it holds a mystery. You can, either through imagination or your own past experience, think of your earliest memory of a forest. It likely holds both kind of enchantment and a little bit of fear, right? There's a magic there, but there's also uncertainty because you may lose your way or you may discover something extraordinary. So this is the energy. This is the energy that's required now. So the forest asks one simple thing: enter. Step into the unknown. Be willing to get lost. Be curious again. Let yourself explore without needing a clear path. Because the truth is, there is no straight path here. This is the pathless path that we're embarking upon. And within that forest, you may encounter shadows and confusion. There may be dense entanglements. There may be trickster energies. But guess what? Equally present is the light filtering through the trees, right? The hidden beauty, the synchronicity, the support that comes from things we cannot see. So some may be asking how we move into the forest. How do we move into the unknown? Well, that deeper message the forest calls us into is that when we enter it, we're stepping into a higher field of reality. It's a space of coherence. It's love. It's creative intelligence. This is not just the unknown. This is the living field of the heart. So if you can move through it in that sense, in that way, through your heart, it can represent this realm of living light where love and creativity then are the guiding forces. So we don't enter through force or a certainty, but it's through a heart spark, right? A spark in our heart, something within us that ignites us. It's like a quiet pull, a knowing, a creative impulse that opens a doorway. So this spark awakens the heart into coherence and what is often called the unconditional, the omniscient love. It becomes the bridge then that carries us through the forest. It's not logic, it's not control. It's just more openness, receptivity, and warmth. Those are the things that we want to feel through as we move through this. And then something shifts. We don't navigate the forest by figuring it out. We realize that we move through it by expressing it. Just like love begins to move as creative expression through your voice, your art, through movement, dance, your presence, your creative works, you become that channel for the living light. That's when joy arises naturally. That's where it's not performed, it's not forced, it's experienced simply by being within it. So this is where expression becomes play, where inspiration flows without effort, where creation is no longer a task, but a song moving through you. So the forest teaches us that the way through the unknown is not control, but it's coherence. It's not striving, but allowing, and it's not searching, it's becoming. This is an adventure of becoming. And you may feel lost, but that's part of the initiation. Because in that forest, getting lost is how you're found. It's in that light aspect, the forest is magical, expansive, filled with childlike wonder. If we're in our shadow in the forest, we may feel overwhelmed, confused, or even frightened. But remember, if you move through the forest without ever feeling lost, you're only remaining on the edge. You haven't actually stepped in. That true transformation requires that stepping fully into the unknown. And with this current, that loving support that carries you, it's coming from Gaia herself. And she sends this loving message through the animal spirit this week of the deer. Oh my gosh, that loving, intuitive, graceful deer energy is like the graceful mother of all life. And she mirrors this feminine energy of Venus entering Gemini. It's a frequency that's available to all creatures, regardless of gender. So this energy radiates inner beauty, nurturing presence, a sense of grace that calms us from the birth of our new chapter through the forest and all the way through to our inner knowing, our Gnosis. And it draws us into a quiet tenderness. And this is our time of celebration, of new life, as we are magnetized towards the absolute knowing of who we are, but with a gentleness and a compassion for where we came. Because knowing that needing protection from our forest was just an illusion, and discovering that childlike wonder, that's our way through. So plant the seed, trust what is stirring, follow that quiet knowing within you. You are lovingly supported by Gaia through that gentle spirit of the deer. It's a frequency of grace, intuition, nurturing presence that's available to all. And she walks with you through this new beginning, guiding you through that forest and into your own inner knowing. So soften, trust, and be curious. And what once felt like fear was only an illusion. Your path forward is discovery and wonder. And when the path disappears, enter anyway. You're being carried into who you are becoming. So the waters came through with a blessing here that I want to end this with. And this blessing is for this chapter in our evolution. So the blessing is, allow a continuous flow of gratitude. Clear all fear with eagerness for what's next. This is perfect for our next chapters. If this message resonated with you, I appreciate you so much. Take a moment to like the video. It does help the energy reach those who are ready for it. Subscribe to stay connected with these weekly cosmic currents and deeper transmissions. And I'd love to hear from you. I mean, what is on this new path for you? What's unfolding for you right now? Share in the comments and let's witness each other in this shift. Your voice does matter here. Your presence matters. And I'll see you in the next transmission.